But look, what I'd like to do today is spend some time on visualization, because in lesson 1, we talked a lot about your C-type goal, and I've encouraged you to add emotion to that. Sometimes it's hard to know what that feels like. So here's a little exercise, and Tony will follow along, but I want you to do it. If you're watching the recording, you must actually do this with me. It's pretty simple. If someone's watching you, it might look a bit funky, but, deal with that. So put your right hand up beside you. I want you to mirror what I'm doing with my hand. Just concentrate on my right hand. I lift it up, lift it back down again, lift it back up, lift it down, take it out to the right, bring it back to the middle. Now I want you just to mirror what I'm doing, and please on the recording do this thing. So here goes, up, follow me. You're pretty good, Tone. You're going all right. You'll get a prize here. Up. All right, now introducing a bit of complexity. I'm going to now bend my forefinger down, my right finger down. You don't have to bring yours down, but when I bend mine down, I want you to not copy me. Like Simon says, you stay put, I'll keep moving. So here we go. Move, follow, mirror my movements. Here we go. When I move my little finger down, I want you to make sure you stop. I will keep moving. That's it. And I'll bring it back up. Pretty simple. We got the task. Now I'm going to introduce a name. I'm going to say the word. I say the word Tim. When I say Tim, I want you to stop, but I'll keep moving. So, Tim. Oh, you're doing well. You're going well. And I'm going to stop you there. Hand down. So what I want you to ask you this question, while you were doing that, you were copying me and there was things going on. What else were you aware of in that time? Like, were you aware of your other hand?
No.
No, probably not. No. Were you aware of other things on your desk or nearby?
No, I was giving my full attention to what you were doing.
Yep, and I think if you're watching the recording, you'll agree. You're totally focused on me, and you lose things. Even if you had a sore bum or a sore foot, I dare say that would just disappear. You might hear some loud noise around, but mostly you come to this point of focus where because you've got your mind and body going together, you actually really are critically focused, and other things disappear. And your mind and your eyes, everything is focused on that thing. In China, I know for quality control on their fast trains, the people who are the conductors and the drivers have to do everything twice. They say it and they've got a point. So they'll say, check speed. They've got to point at it. Check speed. Stop train. Check time. They've got to say, check bearings. And they have to point at them or touch them as they're doing it. And they said their accuracy and their ability to do things in terms of quality control went up. It was a measured number, like 48%, when they pointed and touched as well as spoke. Interesting stuff. Good for planes, I guess, and flight crews and so forth. Actually, they do the same thing. They check this and check that. So your focus comes onto one thing, and there's a point about all this. And if we don't focus, or if we focus on the wrong things, you get messed up. If you're focusing on the right things, then happy days. But if you focus on the wrong things, then you're in strife. But quite often you're focused on the wrong things. We're focused on debt, or we're focused on limitation, or we're focused on why not. And of course, that's what comes to roost. What I want us to do here this week is to focus on how and the possibilities, and focus on what you want, not what you don't want. That's the difference, and it's a critical difference, because what you focus on expands. And by the end of these 12 lessons, you'll absolutely understand why, and you'll have perfect evidence to know why with the faith that I've got on that. So just as surely as you're doing this, if you put all your mind and heart into watching this, you won't feel the other things. But if you're sitting there feeling and lamenting over your sore toe, and you think about your sore toe and you keep thinking about your sore toe, that's where your mind's going to be all the time. If you're thinking about why you can't get fit or whatever it might be, you're focusing on the negative. Become aware of your thinking and say, what am I focused on really in this situation? And it could be anything. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. I keep seeing more and more wrong with that person. Well, you will, as long as you keep looking for it. If you flip it and start looking for the right stuff, you might be surprised what comes out there. You think, wow, fancy that. So that's one. For today, in our little 20-minute show, I want to just take you on a little mental journey. And I want you to come with me by listening to my voice, by completely focusing with me. And it begins by getting you to relax. So I've got a nice scene here with my waves coming in. And I want you just to get in a comfortable position. And I'll move through a sort of a relaxation mantra for a moment, and then I want to take you on a little journey and then debrief on that, and we'll call it quits. So listen to my voice. Perhaps close your eyes, put your hands somewhere comfortable, Please, please do this actually as I'm asking you to do it. But it'll have no effect if you don't do what I ask you to do. Follow what I'm saying. So be comfortable, listen to me completely. I want you to just take 3 deep breaths in, slowly out, and release some of the noise and tension around. Just in and out. And breathe in again and breathe out again. Have your hands somewhere comfortable. Sit comfortably. Lean back if you want to. In and back out. And while you've just got nice, relaxed breathing going on, I want you to just imagine your feet. If you're in bare feet, feel the carpet or whatever's underneath your feet. If you're in shoes, become aware of your socks and your shoes around there. And just think, there's my feet. They're down there. They're on the end of the blood circulating through them. They're down the end of my legs, and that's where they are. You can be conscious of them now, because just like I asked you to be conscious with your hand, you can be conscious of your feet. Then I want you to squeeze the muscles in your feet, not move your feet, just tense them. Right? Squeeze them tight, twist them up, and hold that muscle position so your toes are quite tight, so that the arch of your foot's tight. And just hold it for a moment, just for a count of half a dozen. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release the muscles. Feel the blood move back into your feet. Feel your feet relaxing there inside your shoes or on the carpet or wherever they are, and just let your feet just disappear off into the ether. Now think about your calves. Muscles, the big muscles below your knees at the back. They carry around, they do all sorts of great things. Without moving your legs, just tense the muscles of your calf, and tense them quite firmly. Tense them hard. They're strong muscles. Hold them tight, hold them tight. Keep it there for another half a dozen. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Feel the blood move back into that area. Feel the muscles totally relaxing. Let's let your calves disappear off into the ether wherever they're going to go, and just relax. You're not aware of them anymore, they're gone. Higher up in the legs, we've got the thighs, some of the biggest muscles in our bodies. They do all sorts of stuff and walking us around and so forth. I want you just to squeeze, tighten up the thigh muscles, the glutes, just give them as tight as you can. Hold it tight, really hold it tight. They're very powerful muscles. They're using blood now, they're sucking oxygen now. Just hold them tight. Don't move your legs, just hold the muscles tight, like a calisthenic. And 5, 4, hold them tight for a bit longer. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Your legs are just relaxed. Your blood's circulating down there. It's feeling great. You're comfortable. And then these little things on the end of our arms, our hands that we do so much with, that we rely on so much, just squeeze your hands tight. Don't move them anywhere. Just tense them up like you did with your feet. Squeeze them tight. Feel the muscles. There's lots of muscles there, lots of little bones. Hold them tight. Hold it really tight. Feel a bit of pain. Feel a discomfort there. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let your hands relax. You possibly feel the blood circulating back into there, coming down through your forearms. Totally let your hands relax and disappear. Don't think about them anymore. And you're getting the routine. We're going to move to our forearms. Strong muscles there. Tense those now. Keep them tense. You hold them tense, they might even start to move, vibrate, start to move a little bit with the pressure, but hold them tight. Hold it tight and relax. Upper arms, you've got triceps and biceps. Again, you can flex either or both of those if you're clever. Just sitting still, flex the muscles of your upper arm. Really tight, really, really tight. Hold it tight. Become aware of them. They're fabulous things. They help you do so much. Squeeze the muscles tight. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that relax. Then you're coming into your chest. Just squeeze, tighten up the chest muscles, shoulders, chest, all in one. Hold it tight. Become aware of the muscles. There's so many muscles, so many sinews. They do so much stuff. You'll be lost without them. Feel each one of them if you can. Tense them up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And then your stomach, the abs, 6 packs, whatever you got, mono ab, but it's there. Pull that tight. It's incredible how much power you've got in your stomach to keep you balanced and upright. You've got a bunch of spine that's like a bunch of 50-cent pieces holding up all the upper body. And the muscles around there are many and powerful. Keep them tight, hold it tight, like you're doing a sit-up. Squeeze it in there for a bit longer. And then breathe that away into relaxation. And the final group of muscles I want you to think about are in your face, and there's heaps of them. So you tense your face up, you get screwed up, whatever it takes, but pull those muscles tight, squeeze your eyelids, squeeze your cheeks, hold your jaw. A bit hard for me because I'm speaking, but just tense up your face. You're possibly pulling a face, but hold it tight. You might see some funny colours behind your eyes if you're squeezing. And relax. And just breathe. Your body's relaxed. You've tensed the muscles. You've let the muscles become swathed in nice cleansing blood, and oxygen's going through. Feel your breath coming in out of your chest. And try and listen to your own heartbeat. In fact, let your mind, let your brain, not your mind, let your brain, in a figure of speaking, just sink down with and be one with your lungs and your heart in your chest cavity. Just a central place, your mind in one place, your heart, your lungs, your brain, and just feel your own heart beating for a moment. Feel your own breath coming in and out, bringing clean oxygen in as you breathe in, and in one sweeping motion, taking all the junk out of your system, through your kidneys, through your lungs. And just enjoy that few seconds of breathe quietly, just you. Gentle but deep breath in, and then letting the junk out. Now stay with my voice, and I want you to imagine with your eyes closed that right in front of you is a big screen. I've got a projector screen, you remember from school. We used them anyway, but just remember there's the screen there. And on the screen, there's a lemon. It's a really ripe lemon, perfect lemon. The one if you were at the shops that you'd pick out of all the others. It's big, and it's sitting on the screen. And just reach out and take the lemon. Have it in your hands. And bring it towards your face, and just have a look at the lemon. Feel its cold skin. See the little droplets of water that are forming on the outside. Turn it around and see where it was connected to the tree, where the bud was, or the branch was. Have a look at the other end where the little dimply piece is. If you look closely, you can see lots of little tiny holes in the skin, flesh of the lemon, and it's cool in your hands. And now take the knife and just put the lemon on a board and cut it in half. Hold it with one side, and the other side just fall over with a sharp knife and just rock back and forth as they do. And you can then pick up one half and have a look at it. And inside you'll see the white pithy piece around. And you'll also see the little segments. And perhaps you've cut a pip in half, seed in half, but there's others in there. And it's a juicy lemon. A bit of stuff's landed on the board. And then with your knife, cut it again so it's in quarters like we had at football teams with the oranges and things. And you'll see that, just have a good look, inspect it. A bit of juice that's dripping off it, the seeds in the middle, the white around the edge near the skin. Then I'd like you just to pick the lemon up, take it to your mouth and put it in and take a big bite out of it. Sink your teeth right in and have a big chomp on that lemon. Let it get around your tongue and the juice run into your mouth. Then take it back out and just sit with that for a minute. What does it feel like? And when you're ready, just return to me, turn off the screen, come back to where we are, be conscious of your breathing, open your eyes, and hopefully you're relaxed. And Tony, I'll just ask you how you went with that, and I'll be interested from anyone listening to the recording about how you went with that, how you felt physically, and then what happened when you saw the lemon and so forth. Can you describe your experience, Tony?
Well, by each of my muscle groups, and then relaxing, I actually feel more relaxed as a whole, which was quite a good experience.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realise there were parts of my body that were quite tense without me realising it. So it was almost doing a mini yoga session. So I actually feel a lot more relaxed now than I was before I started. So that was a pretty interesting experience.
That is great.
The visualization came quite easy for me.
So
It was quite colourful. Yeah, the lemon came quite easily, and I held the lemon quite easily.
Where'd you get the knife from?
Yeah, it was. Where did I get the knife from?
Yeah.
It was already in my hand.
Fancy that.
So
It was just there, was it?
It was there, yeah.
I just put it in your hand and you had it.
Yeah, you just suggested I have it in my hand, and I had it. And
There it was.
it was
a big
actually
sharp knife, was it?
It was a new knife that I'd bought a few days ago.
Fancy that. I didn't even know you bought one.
Quite sharp, yeah. Yeah, which is, yes, so.
And then what happened when you took a chomp on the lemon?
I actually felt the inside of my mouth tingle.
Yeah.
Like in anticipation for what was gonna happen, and then my awareness said, well, no, it's actually not happening, so you can back down because it's not going to be that bad. So yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But then
that's
I actually strayed off.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. They're smart minds who can't help it. Let me stay with the experience you had there. For people on the recording, I really hope you did it, because if you didn't, you'll know what to expect. That won't be quite the same. I've done this with university students. I've done this with kids in year 5, and I've done kids with year 3 kids at school, and I've done it with adults all over the place. And what Tony's described there is pretty common, and I hope that most of you had the same thing. When I ask where the knife comes from, people just go, I just turned up, it's just in my hand. You know, it's a power of suggestion, and it's really clear which knife it is. It's even one I bought the other day. It's exactly that one. And the screen. And when I've had children in a room, and even university students in a room, lying on the floor with their eyes shut, while I'm talking and I say, just reach out and get the lemon, I'm telling you, fully 25% of the class, their arms go up in the air and they grab theirs. Right? Their arms go up in the air and they bring it back to their mouth. And then you can see them. They just physically go with them. If such is the connection between the unconscious and the words I'm giving them and the imagery that they're picking up. That's how powerful it is. And then similarly, your experience, Tony, is very, very common. I think somewhere around 55 to 60% of people say, I actually tasted the lemon and it made my mouth go funny and I had saliva. And, you know, when I'm watching people in a room, their faces screw up like they would as if you're eating a sour lemon. Incredible stuff. And the reason I like to do it, but in education, I'll share differently, but for this lesson is that when I get you to get in touch with your C-type goal, I ask you to get a bit emotional about it. You've got to really feel it, and you've got to, you know, focus, like I was saying, you've got to focus on what you want. And to do that, you've got to have something that's really powerful, that's quite clear. You've got to have in real detail, what am I after? What does it look like and feel like? And then get emotionally attached to it. And the way to do that is to go through this little exercise. So I hope you try that. I think it's a great way for kids who can't go to sleep, for example. I say, just do this. I just talk them through their body, breathing in, squeezing and releasing. And then by the time I finish, they're asleep. But ditto with yourself if you can't sleep well, or if you're just having a stressful day. You don't have to even move. You can leave your desk, you can go through the whole shooting match, and unless you squeeze up your face, nobody would know. 3 minutes, you've relaxed so much and released so much tension. And then you can guide yourself to, what do I want to do? What do I want out of this meeting? How's my presentation going? You might be sitting in a car before an interview that matters to you, and you just go through that process. You really center yourself and you really do relax. And then you can imagine yourself at the interview speaking confidently about the topic you know so much about. And you can talk about that, being humble enough, being able to ask questions of the panel. I'm relaxed and so forth, I'm really doing my best. I hope it's something you can use all the time. Get your gratitude book of a night time, write down, what am I grateful for? And get in touch with that emotion and say, how good is it? I'll finish with this little story. The Governor General, I did get to see the Governor General the other day. I had a lovely time with him and Mrs. Hurley in town, and I'll maybe post a photo of that. But he described his first meeting with the Queen. One of the kids asked if he met the Queen. And he said, yes, I have. When I was the Governor of New South Wales. And he said, we went over, we had a 20-minute meeting face-to-face with her, and it was quite lovely. And he said, when I got back to the car, I said to Mrs. Hurley, how do you feel? And she said, why? And he said, well, I feel quite emotional. And she said, why? And he said, we've just had a one-on-one meeting with the Queen. I'm just a boy from Port Kembla, Steel Town, down in, Wollongong. Just a boy from a little public school down the road. I went to a high school that wasn't that auspicious. And I got into the Navy. He said, I joined the military just to get a free education, basically. I got my tertiary education. Then I got promoted, went up through, he had a really nice talk about his experience, which I won't do now. But his point was, what about you? I'm just a kid from Port Kembla. I'm now the Governor General of Australia. When I met the Queen, it was unbelievable. He talked about another occasion, we had a dinner with the Queen. He said, so we had our audience, and he said, then we were going for dinner. And I presumed that there'd be 20 or 30 or 40 people at the table. It's been my experience with the Governor General, it's a big table full of people. He said, we opened the door to the dining room and there was a table for 4. It's Prince Philip, the Queen, and myself and Linda. And he said, unbelievable. We had dinner together. And I'll tell you that story later if you're interested. That was what I call gratitude. And I could see it in the crowd, a couple of thousand kids there just on Wednesday, whenever I was in town. There wasn't a sound in the room, but it was the same thing. Why do we settle for less? Why not me? He's got 2 arms and 2 legs. He went to the military, now he's the Governor General. He said, I'm not that special, I'm just me. Awesome stuff. So find your goal, lesson 1. Spend some time and really get deep on it, and then try and do this exercise and work your heart out to become emotionally attached to it. And with that, I'm going to say, see you Tuesday night.